Our seventh influence is one that is about the business model of Chambers. It's about resource alignment. It's really kind of interesting how little connection there is sometimes in chamber business models between the money coming out and the money going in, between what things make money and which ones lose money and which ones are intended to lose money. There's also very little connection sometimes between the mission and the money. We think it's going to be more and more important that those things get straightened out over these next 10 years. I don't think it's going to be possible for chambers to continue to have this disconnect between the mission and the money. We believe there's going to have to be a more intentional desire to fund the mission. I don't think very many chambers in the country have their mission that they're going to get a lot of people in a room to exchange business cards. That is a possible route to fulfill a mission, but it's not the mission. The same thing that a golf tournament might provide some opportunities for productive networking, but it isn't the end goal. And if it's just a revenue source, that's fine. But not all of a chamber's activities can be tied to revenue sources on one side and delivery on the mission on the other side. Those things are going to have to get together. Chambers can be fundable. Their missions are fundable. The return on investment, though, for people who put the money in, is probably in the future going to be less connected with direct involvement and more connected to performance, to actually being in the fight, doing work on your mission. So what is this mission you have to fund? For most chambers, it's two things: profitability for your companies, for your members today, and prosperity for your community tomorrow. Now, there are a lot of different verbs and words that are used and modifiers that are used in chambers all over the country, but for the most part, those two factors are critical to the mission. How often do you go out? How often do you go out and ask for funding to fund those two elements, to fund that mission? And we believe that in the future, there will be a need to connect the ask to the mission. And if we can't, we're going to have a great deal of difficulty over the next 10 years because the competition, the huge competition for all kinds of resources and the competition for the kinds of services that chambers might provide that they think of as profitable, the competition for that's going to be so fierce. But there's very little competition for people who are trying to do those two things: profitability for companies today and prosperity for community tomorrow. You are the ones who can do that. You are the ones who will do that. Lots of competition in many ways, but not for that. And so over the next 10 years, the focus on mission and money, the connection between mission and money, is going to be critical. How do you get more money? There's really only one way to develop fundraising in a social community setting, and that is to find and nurture volunteer leaders who care enough to write a check.